Hello creatives, my name is Will and thank you so much for being here with me. This is the first video I've made for this new creative channel that I'm working on. So me and my wife went out to Whale Rock Reservoir. It's a reservoir here in San Luis Obispo County, and it's an incredible lake that a friend told me about, and I just really wanted to go up, check it out, see how it looked, see like it at sunset, and just goof around with a new film camera I got. It was really cool, and let's look at the footage. Struggle bus. All right, we came up to Whale Rock Reserve, and I'm going to try out Fuji Film 400H. I haven't really tried this that much, and people tell me that I should try it, and I don't know if I should or not. So I'm going to keep shooting a few rolls and see what I can get from it. There's a shot of this lake that I've been wanting to get for a long time, and we're going to try to see if we can get it. Can't find the trail, but I'm working on it. I just got this Mamiya 645 and I'm super excited about it. I've shot a few rolls through it, still getting used to it. I was shooting on a RZ67 and that had amazing, huge images. This is about 2/3 the size of that, and the images are still amazing from this. We've got Savannah on the camera. We're gonna take some photos of her. I'm gonna take some wide shots, see how the Fuji comes out, and it's gonna be real pretty. All right, so I'm trying a bunch of different things out with this camera. One is the film. Obviously, we were talking about that earlier. I've only shot about 4 or 5 rolls through this camera, and now I want to try out some double exposure. So I can switch the setting and shoot double exposure. Some of my favorite double exposures online are of a person and then like a background like this. So we're going to try to do that with Savannah. We're going to get a shot of Savannah, and then we're going to get a shot of the background, and hopefully the background's kind of washed and Savannah is kind of washed out too, but you can kind of see both of the images. That's the goal. I've never taken one before. Now's the time to do it. All right, we've come up with a cool pose. We're gonna do it in the road. We're still waiting for sunset right now. Still waiting for sunset, but we're gonna try this one in the road. And I wanna get a little action, a little motion. Here we go. So we've got one shot left. I got a couple multiple exposures. We got a couple different things. I shot the lake way too many times, but now that the sun's down, I'm gonna get it one more time before we go. We got some interesting shots. We'll see how it goes.
Also, wait, turn back that way. This is Will's sunburn from today. Oh my gosh, that looks really bad on camera. That's so rough. It's gonna hurt. All right, we're back from the shoot, and I've got my chemicals cooking right there. 102. I've actually got 5 rolls to develop tonight. 2 120s, one from yesterday, walk around the neighborhood, and then one from today. And then I've got 2 from a buddy, and then I've got a sprocket rocket kind of style one. I'm gonna do this, and I'll see you guys in the morning for scanning. All right, it's a new day, and I've got 5 rolls to actually scan. So, and there it was yesterday's. Let's do it. All right, we're back. The shoot did not go as well as I wanted it to go. We couldn't find the right path to get down to the water, and that was one of the places we really wanted to go and see, like at the water's edge. But we did get up high enough to get a good view of the reservoir. My lens was a little too tight to get a good wide. I don't have like a crazy wide angle, but it was really fun shooting on the Mamiya 645, and we had a really good time out there. So Savannah was shooting on our camera. I didn't put a nice microphone on it, so sorry about the audio quality on that. But the shoot was fun regardless, and I didn't show my developing or scanning or anything like that, but I want to let you guys know that I do want to do that in the future. I've had a lot of guys ask me on Instagram about how I scan and how I develop. I use the Epson scanner, and you probably saw that in the clips, but there are a lot of good videos on it, but it sounds like people want to hear my perspective. So I think that's awesome, and I'm honored that you want to hear my perspective. So I'm gonna work on trying to make developing and a scanning video, a negative lab video, because that's what I convert my negatives. So I want to work on all of those things for you guys. You guys are awesome and super supportive, and I think I could bring a little bit more to the table, hopefully, and show off a couple of my skills and help our community. So looking at the whale rock photos, I noticed that some of them were underexposed and overexposed, and trying to compensate for that did not work too well in negative lab. But that's really my fault for not exposing correctly. So I'm loving this camera right now, but I've been trying to shoot on the auto mode with the meter prism and trying to understand its different features. So it has like a spot one where you can focus it straight and then reframe, and that's been going really well, and I really think it works well, but this is one of the first rolls I took with this camera, and it definitely needs more practice. So I'm gonna keep working on that and developing that skill. I've actually shot a lot more rolls since this roll. I'm sitting down a few weeks after that roll, but I'm loving this thing. It's awesome. It's just so user-friendly, and I'm having a blast shooting on it. So some of my shots, one of my favorite ones is Savannah, my wife, looking smug, kind of just looking at the screen. This one just came out so well. I forgot to mention too, I was shooting on Fuji film 400H, and that is not my preferred film. I like Portra. So I try to give this a little warm vibes, but the greens in Fuji is so much different than the Portra Kodak. So yeah, this image came out really good. You can see the background, you can see the greens, and it has that warm glow from the sunset. So this one, I definitely exposed weird, and I could not match the color tones of her shirt to the other photos, and that was definitely an exposure thing. So in negative lab, when you're working with it, it's hard to dial in those colors too hard because it's working with the negative. So I've been finding that if I go all the way through and finish and export my negative lab scan, I can go back in and then touch those colors up. I didn't do that on this roll. That's something I've recently discovered. But yeah, so the color was a little bit different on her shirt, which one of the things I'm looking for, and especially in my digital photography work, is that consistency. That consistency is what gets me hired, gets me continuing to get work, as a wedding videographer, photographer. You want to see that consistency along the entire roll, along everything. But we're out here having fun. These were just like trying to learn how to use this camera and get used to it. That's this roll at Whale Rock. I wanted to talk a little bit about a few projects I'm going to be working on soon. A lot of people have been asking about one of my new projects, Full Roll Scroll. Now, I started this Instagram a few weeks ago, and what I wanted to do with it was explain the entire roll and go through in depth of showing every shot for shot of every roll you take. So when we take all these film shots, so when we take digital photos, a lot of times it's same with the iPhone, you've got a million photos on your phone, you've got a million photos on your camera. We come home from weddings sometimes and have like 4,000 shots just shooting on burst mode over and over. But what is amazing about film photography is that you slow down, you take few by few, and you're only taking, like for my Mamiya, it's only 15 shots. for a few other cameras, like 10 shots or up to 36 on 35mm. So there's less shots, but they have more meaning, they have more depth. And what I wanted to do with full roll scroll was to show every one of those, to show like I shot this, but I messed up, and that's okay. And it's gonna show every shot from the roll, every creative thought you had. And Instagram is all about showing the best of the best, and ultimately that's fake, that's not real. And showing the mistakes, showing the work that you put in for every roll really matters, really is interesting and unique. So I'm hoping that that project can be something that you guys would want to do. I'm challenging you guys to make these. I'm gonna make a few videos explaining how to do it. And I'm even gonna try to work on making some templates so that you can just plug in your film scans if you don't develop yourself and have your own scanner. So I'm gonna work on those for you guys. So again, this is my first video for YouTube at the moment. It's a little bit more just talking head, and we had the fun vloggy content earlier, but I'm gonna be making a lot more videos in the future that walk through my photography journey, but also walks through a lot of other creative outlets for me. I love watercolor, I love making music, and obviously I am a big videographer. I shoot wedding photo and video, and we do a lot of video projects for other businesses and stuff. I want my YouTube to be a space where I'm doing a lot of my skills. You're seeing me active in the field, shooting and making content, whether that be art or music or photography. But I want it to also be a place that you can get inspired, you can get out of the house, and you can do something that's creative and fun for you. So that's what's coming up. I don't know if I'll keep a weekly schedule. I'll try to. But for now, this is my first video. I really appreciate you watching, and make sure to hit the bell, hit the like, and subscribe, because there's a lot more content coming down the road from me. And follow me on Instagram at @OneWillCobb. I hope to see you there. See ya.